What's going on, guys? Welcome back to part 2. We're back here in the shop with the OBS, and a lot has been done since our last video. All the harness is already in the truck already. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where I mounted the boxes, and then obviously all the wires are already ran under the dashboard. I am waiting on a small bracket for the gas pedal. That way I can mount it in the factory location, so it has like an offset and stuff like that, and then you can mount the factory Dodge pedal onto it, and basically it'll look like factory. I've got the shifter there in place. I still need to get a console done, so once the vehicle's done, then I'll get take it over to the upholstery guy. He can build me a little nice console where we put the shifter on, and then wrap it in leather and just kind of make it match everything else. We have radiators, fans, we've got intercoolers, we've got heat exchangers, engine oil cooler, you know, all the works, basically everything that goes along with it. Belts, we got water lines, upper and lower, we've got the headers, computers mounted, and just about everything is done. The brake booster is done. Fuel lines are done all the way up to the frame. I am still waiting on the fuel pump to come in. Obviously it was on back order, but talked to the people at Automotive and my supplier, and they assure me that it will be here very, very soon. That way we can get this thing up and running. That's basically the only thing that we're missing. Other than that, I mean, I still have some brakes to do. I still have to do the rear end, and obviously put the drive shaft and stuff like that. So in the meantime, I do have all this Wilwood brake setup. We got 6 piston fronts, we got 4 piston backs, and obviously you have to get the spindle for this type of body style whenever you do these type of brakes. We've got our motive gears right there, and also we've got a cold air intake from a 2020 Charger. It seems like it's gonna fit, so we will see. Drive shaft also, but this is a pretty nice drive shaft. So obviously I am waiting to put the gears on, and then I'll put this drive shaft on. So we have, don't mind the mess, so we've got some blind boxes right here, which it has everything, your relays and all that stuff right there. So that is that. Got your fan 1, fan 2, automatic shutdown, fuel pump, AC compressor, start, and obviously all your relays, your fuses, and all the stuff over here. And that is our 8 HP controller, separate little box right there. Put this thing back on there, and then obviously that just kind of tucks up right there. We've got the shifter down here, so this will eventually go somewhere around right there. And I'm got my gas pedal right there, so I'm waiting on that little bracket. This thing is definitely has ignition. It cranks over, the motor spins over. Obviously it don't got no gas in it, but once we get the fuel pump on there, we'll be able to have a supply of fuel, and this thing should fire right up. One big ass box. Obviously I don't think this box is gonna fit. Alright, so I actually made this thing fit with just a little bit of modifications on the box. And then what I did, because the box has like a cone that goes down, obviously to fit the car, I went ahead and shaved that off about 4 inches, and then I was able to kind of finesse it in here, and it ended up having a slanted spot onto the box that actually matched up perfectly with a notch that the fender well had, and it stays in place and it really doesn't move. So it actually turned out pretty badass. So I mean, you can see there, so pretty sturdy. And then down here, I ended up notching, and then it's got this slant right there, and on the inside it actually has where it matches perfectly. All this holes was where for the factory stuff would get some air. Obviously it's still going to get some air there, but it fits in the factory location just about. The filter fits in there in place nicely, and then everything just kind of fits like if it was factory. That is where my air intake temperature sensor is going to go. And got the wire right there. So this actually turned out pretty good. It's bolted, doesn't move. You know, obviously it moves a little bit down here, but it really ain't gonna go anywhere because it is bolted on the bottom side. It looks factory. There you go. Got the computer, intercooler, reservoir. I am still waiting on this cover that goes right here. It's going to cover all this, and it kind of tapers that way, so it's going to look pretty damn nice. Got your factory cold air from a 2020 Charger that actually fits, and there is plenty of room, and it's not on it. This is our water reservoir because I could not put the factory one, obviously, so as much as I would have wanted to, I just can't. But this is going to be our water reservoir, and it goes in and feeds on the bottom of the water line just like the factory does. Obviously our fuel pump, and then we should be able to fire this thing up, move it under its own power, and well, hopefully take it to get some exhaust done after that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and work on the brakes. That way I can get the brakes done, front, rear, get the 273 gears on the back of the truck, put our drive shaft, and then that way we are done with all that. Also a set of cow tracks that we're going to put on this thing, and then we can take it to the muffin shop and hear it run for the first time. So today we've got brakes. Obviously with the added power of this thing, well, we need something to stop it. So we went with Willwood 6-piston fronts and Willwood 4-piston rear. We also have to change the spindles. For some reason, this one comes with a spindle. It needs to have a spindle, and at the same time, I don't even know why. I've done it, I've changed it, and I've never compared the spindles to see what the difference is. I believe this one has some holes threaded, that way we can get our brackets on there, but like I said, I have not ever compared them because I usually just take the whole thing off complete and then install the new one. So today I'm probably going to go ahead and take a look why we got to change the spindle. Who knows, it might be the same thing, but anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get to work, or I'm going to go ahead and get to work and see how this thing looks. Alright, so we got all the brake lines, brakes, everything done and bled. Got the rear brakes, front brakes, all the way around. Everything's bled. Brakes are working good. The rear end is done. I changed the gears on it. That's already all set. Only thing I got to do is put fluid in it. But right now, what I'm going to do is I got to take the fuel tank off, as I've already got the fuel pump. And I also got a set of cat tracks that are going in it. Air motive. The air motive for, it is for an 8898 dual pump assembly. And it is a direct fit on it. Fuel level, everything. Be able to get this thing on, wired, and then hopefully we can hear this thing run maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Alright, so I've got the fuel pump installed. Well, both fuel pumps. I mean, this thing should fire up though. It has a program in it on the computer. I don't know if it's, you know, how is it or whatever, but also I did install the gas pedal. I bought a bracket for it, and let me show you. I bought a bracket for the gas pedal that they actually sell for these from Sublime Motorsports. No, Sublime Technologies. Now, if it's good, but it actually seems like it's a little too close. Well, it is a little too close to the brake pedal. Well, let's see. See if it fires up. Well, runs, not great, but runs. Obviously the exhaust is not on. The O2 sensors are not connected. They're just dangling there, so obviously it seems like, you know, it needs those. I'm gonna go ahead and think I'm gonna set it in the ground, put up the wheels on, and get it off the jack stands. Alright, well there you have it. So apparently last night this thing was running like shit. Well, I mean yeah, I guess first startups always run like crap. Stop this thing, stop scanning. First startups always run like crap. I mean, I have had many builds done, and normally first startups there's only a select few that actually fire up and idle perfectly and all that kind of stuff. So I guess everything just kind of needed to, I don't know, run for a bit or whatever, but I was not getting no signal for the gas pedal. So I swapped out with another one, and still doing the same thing. So I guess while I was doing the wiring, and I had it plugged and unplugged and all that kind of good stuff, so apparently it triggered a code. So what I did, I unplugged it, cleared the code, plugged it back up, and then went ahead and fired it up, and then now we got pedal. So as soon as we got pedal and went out of limp mode, the motor sounded a lot better. It idled smoother. Obviously it's trying to add a bunch of fuel because it doesn't have the O2 sensors, but it actually idled way better, smoother, and I actually have throttle response now. So I guess it just needed to clear the codes while I had the the pedal unplugged and then plugged it back in, and then it worked. So also my intercooler pump wasn't working. Come to find out that it is on a fuse that was missing on the fuse box. But that is taken care of now, so I guess it's time to set this thing on the floor and actually get it ready to see if we can move it on its own power. Check it out. Moves on its own power. Hey, this thing already wanted to make a burnout, dude. Let's put it in gear.
Sounds pretty rowdy, man.
Well, I got no mufflers yet, but it moves. That's what I wanted to move it under its own power. I can actually move it now. Yeah, it already wanted to do a burnout. Yeah, this thing's already ready, man. Ready to do a burnout. I'm gonna clean all the messes up. See, it already tried to do a burnout. You know, whenever they're cold, they're idled up higher.
Yeah.
So obviously I fired it up and I put it in gear and it's like, wants to go. Like, chill. Calm down. But it ain't on jack stands no more, so it runs. Like I said, for some reason there was a code on the throttle body that it was just in lit mode. So what I did, I went ahead and unplugged the throttle pedal and then cleared the codes with HP tuners. Because I did download the program on it, so I was able to see what they'd done as far as the program that they got in. So obviously they deleted a bunch of codes and stuff that it didn't need, emission stuff and stuff like that. But there was a code that it was throwing, I guess, because of just key on, key back, and all that kind of stuff. So finally I was able to clear it, and then I'm able to have throttle response and all that kind of good stuff. So for now, it does move on its own power. Dry shaft, obviously, it's on and all that. So now I can at least put it on the trailer and take it to the muffler shop. Get some exhaust on this thing. Then we'll be able to maybe just kind of finalize all the little things and then put this thing on the damn dyno. I'm happy it moves already. Now I gotta clean it. Alright, so we got the exhaust done. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up, see how it sounds. So it's 3-inch, dual 3-inch all the way to the, it's got a Borla, 2 in, 2 out, and then it's got 3-inch all the way to the very back. and it dumps behind the tire. So obviously I fired it up. It was open header, sounded badass, but we'll see how it sounds right now with the exhaust. So anyway, oh yeah. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Let me go ahead and pull it out, and you should be able to hear the supercharger whine now. So we got the truck back. Sounds badass. The exhaust sounds actually really good. So we used the existing muffler that the truck had already. It was already a 2 in 2 out Borla. So I figured we go ahead and just keep that. Customer liked it, so we went ahead and just made it to where it's 3-inch. But we're on our way back to Dayton, and got this thing loaded up. So we're almost at the finishing touches. So all I need to do on this thing is go ahead and get the AC lines done. So we've got that taken care of for Monday. We're gonna go ahead and get one of my buddies that he does all the AC lines. He's gonna go ahead and measure up and get the necessary fittings that we need to be able to adapt the Hellcat condenser into the factory 90, 87, 88 to 93 OBS, or basically just kind of connect all those lines. And also the same to the dryer tank. He's gonna have to get a fitting, which is, I believe it's like a number 12, and then it goes down to a number 10 line and so forth. Alright guys, we're one step closer to getting the Hellcat OBS completely done. So I have been driving it. Took it to the store, took it for a test drive, just kind of see how everything shifts and works and that kind of stuff, and everything seems to be pretty good. I did plug up the laptop to it because on the first startup, which the original tune that they sent me for the Hellcat, well, there's two different types of injectors, which is a 21 and plus newer, and the 20 and earlier versions. They do have two different sets of injectors that are different, and the program that they sent me was for the older version injectors, which different offsets, different, I guess something varies. So I was able to plug into the computer and do some tuning myself on it. Now, I am not a Dodge tuner. I do not tune on these computers. Now, I can mess with it, but obviously I am not a tuner for this platform. So there was a couple of issues that I was having with this thing prior, and just it was not running right. Now, I am not a Dodge tuner by any means, but I know the programs and I know what it needs. If it needs fuel, I can add fuel, and I can look at timing and make changes and whatsoever. So yes, I am going to go ahead and plug the laptop to it, but I'm going to make minimal changes, which is adjust the fueling, because obviously it's a little lean while cruising, and obviously wide open throttle as well, it is a bit lean. Let me give you a little bit of a rundown of the issues that I had with this. Maybe somebody will encounter it, I don't know, but it was good information that I found out, and I wasn't that I did not know. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it with you guys. So first of all, when I got the computer, plugged everything up, fired the vehicle up, it was super lean. It was correcting, and it was adding 35 to 40% fuel at idle, and then I would lose the throttle pedal occasionally, and it would just not run right. So what I did, I downloaded the program that they sent me, and then I went ahead and downloaded a Hellcat tune from the HP Tuner forum from a 22, and I saw that there was a lot of different stuff on it. So what I did, I went back and I downloaded a 20 and earlier tune from HP tuners as well, and then I saw that they went ahead and that was the tune that the computer had, which was basically like 20 and older. So definitely it was not right for the combination that we have. Now this motor is a 22, 23. So obviously from 20 and below, there's a difference in the injectors, and I did not know that, so I found out. So I went ahead and compared the programs, and then I made the changes for the correct injectors, which is 21 and newer. They just have a different part number, and I guess, you know, numbers and all that kind of stuff, they're different. They're the same size, but they obviously the voltages and the milliseconds and all that kind of stuff, they work different. So I made those changes, and it substantially was better, but it was still not right. So after digging a little bit more, I talked to the guys from Sublime Technologies. Very, very helpful guys. Those are the guys that I bought all the harnesses from, and then obviously the transmission side, it comes from Sound German, but I bought everything from them. They're very, very helpful. So he did tell me that 20 and below also changes the map sensor. So the map sensor for the earlier years is a 2-bar, and then from 21 and newer, it's a 3-bar. So obviously this motor has 3-bar map sensor. So that's the reason why whenever I plug the computer in, I was seeing every time I put the key on, I would notice that my map KPA was set at 40 instead of being atmospheric, which is like 102 right here at sea level. So that was something different. So once he confirmed that I did have the newer ones, because I gave him the part number, I went ahead and made all those changes in the computer as well. Fired it up, no dead pedal. The truck actually drove 10 times better. I was able to go ahead and floor it. It didn't cut off. It didn't do anything dumb or stupid. But obviously I didn't know where the air fuel was or nothing like that. So hence, now that the vehicle's running right because of those things, I went ahead and loaded it up on the dyno. Like I said before, I am not a tuner for Dodge. I know how to use the program. I can tune all kinds of Chevrolets, no big deal. I can tune race cars. I can tune methanol injected stuff. I can make big power. Not saying that I can't tune this thing, but the program for HP tuners, it is completely different than what I'm used to. So no, I would not just jump in and say that I can tune Dodge. So if in case you're wondering, no, there is a lot of other tuners out there that can tune better than what I can. Obviously this thing is a customer, so I'll be able to start playing with it, and then maybe sometime in the future, if I feel comfortable, maybe, just maybe, then I'll see if in case I'll plug the laptop on some of these cars. But for now, if I do something here, obviously I am going to try to tune it. Obviously I don't know all the ins and outs of what the Hemi likes, but fuel is fuel and timing is timing, and those two are the ones that make power. If you have air coming in the motor, well, you can control your timing, you can control your fuel, and obviously that's what's going to make power. The transmission, I'm really not worrying about it. It already has a program in it. It actually works very, very well. I drove it, feels great. Manual mode and in just drive mode, all that stuff, it just feels great. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load this program in, and let's go ahead and make another pull, see what it does. From about 5,600 and above, and then it had a little bit of knock retard, so I'll have to go in there and address that. Fueling was definitely a lot better. That was 11.8 just about all the way through, and torque, it made 572 torque and 622 on that one. So you can see right there. So blue is the one right now, kind of levels off, and then right there you can see where it has a small dip, and then actually the other one just made a little bit more. But overall, basically it kind of follows the curve from about mid-range and forward. Air fuel, blue line, definitely a lot better. We got 11.8 versus 12.6. I'm a lot happier with 11.8. I'm probably just going to lean it out to about 12.0. So I'm going to take a little bit out, because what I did there, I just went ahead and added some numbers to it just to kind of see. But I'm going to try to level it out to about 12.0 air fuel. And I feel that that's very, very good. Timing is still the same. I left it alone. It goes into 11.5 and then actually starts to climb up to 14, and then it had 3 degrees of knock retard on that little dip, and then it put it back in right before I shut it off. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and clean that, and it should be able to pick up a little bit more power. Now this truck here, the customer does not want like max power. He just wants to be safe, and I'm just making sure that the fueling is nice and good. They're not going to use it for racing or anything like that. That max power needs to be that, you know, it needs to be max effort or anything like that. It's just a nice cruiser, and then definitely when you hit the throttle, it actually has the fuel that it needs, and then you know, it'll be good. All right, guys, well, the time has come, and the OBS is basically officially pretty much 100% done. So the shifter console got done. Went ahead and got it on the dyno, as you saw. Made some really good power. Made 628 to the wheels. Very, very conservative tune. 93 octane, nothing too crazy. The guys are not going to be racing this thing, so it does not need to be max effort, but definitely very reliable. This thing spins from a 40-50, probably sometimes even a 60 row, depending on the conditions. But that 8-speed on this thing, man, is incredible. I mean, it is something else. The motor, the Hellcat, I mean, well, automatically that thing already has 717 to 720 horsepower. I mean, so it definitely got plenty of torque, plenty of power, and like I said, this thing drives like a dream. You'll be doing 80 mile an hour, about 2,000 RPMs, no problem. So, pretty much, like I said, this thing is completely done. So, what this truck consists of, it's an OBS step side 93. It's got a Hellcat motor, 8 HP transmission. It's got an aluminum drive shaft. It's a 4-inch. It's got a posi unit with a 273 gear, because that way it will match the gearing of the Hellcats, which I believe it's a 306. And the reason is I went 273 is because this truck has a lot smaller tire. It's got a 25.5-inch tall tire because it's a 17 by 11 wheel. So it definitely kind of matches up just about what the 306 would be, and the factory tall tire on a Charger or Challenger or whatever the Hellcats come with. Interior, we just left it still the same, with the addition of a nice console for the Hellcat shifter, and I actually went ahead and did some cup holders on it as well. Matched the same color. Actually turned out very, very nice. Brakes, we went ahead and ditched the stock brakes and upgraded to Wilwood 6-piston calipers in the front and 4-piston calipers in the rear. We went ahead and finished it off with a set of cow tracks on it. Nice 3-inch dual exhaust all the way to the back with a Borla 2-in and 2-out muffler. Sounds really, really good. And we've got all the gauges working, like everything. RPM, oil pressure, temperature, you name it. Speedo, voltage, everything works. And that is with the addition of the Autometer Envision gauges. Also, you have to run the bridge from Autometer as well. That way you can be able to connect with the OBD2 port, very similar to Dakota Digital's. But that way you can connect to it and it'll actually show you all the vitals. The engine management, it's from Sublime Technologies. That is their engine harness, factory ECU computer. And then the transmission side, we've got Sound German Automotive, PCS, TCM, and that controls the transmission side. We've got a factory Hellcat pedal on there, also from Sublime Technologies. They have a nice bracket for it, and just basically everything turned out very, very nice. So just like the car should and everything. We got the AC working and all that, blowing cold. So very, very nice. Show you over here on the engine side. We have obviously your Hellcat engine. Everything is all stock except for the addition of some headers, exhaust, and a cold air. Now the cold air is also from a 2020 Charger. And I went ahead and had it modified on this plastic cover that it's got. Modified it on the bottom so it actually gets airflow from underneath. And went ahead and bolted it all up. Factory car air intake help. That's a JLT. Works very, very well. We've got our heat exchanger, coolant tank. We've got a factory computer, AC components. See, just everything else. We also went ahead and did factory radiator, factory fans. It's a dual fan setup, factory AC condenser, because it has provisions already for your transmission lines. Also up in the front, we do have an engine oil cooler right here as well. And then we also have our heat exchanger with a fan with AN lines going to the supercharger. We got some AM fittings, going to the supercharger. So this thing keeps cool. Air intake temperature stays around 120, 125 degrees. Everything seems to be pretty good. I did have to, as you can see, we have a different master cylinder on it. So this is from Speedway Motors. It is designed also for their four-wheel disc brake, but in addition it uses a 8-inch booster on it, and the reason is because the factory booster was touching where the valve cover is, and obviously it was going to get a bit tricky if you're going and changing your spark plugs whenever the time is due. It was actually going to be a little bit tricky to get to the very back one, and you would have to remove everything, so it was more a pain in the butt. So I went ahead and changed it up to this one. Brakes work great, no issues whatsoever, and she drives like a dream. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing washed. I'm gonna head out to the racetrack. There is an event going on today, so I'm gonna go out there, gonna go park it, that way people can go ahead and check it out, and basically just drive it around for a couple more days and get it ready for the customer to pick up this coming week already, as this truck is 100% done. So I hope you like this video. Follow along for more projects that we got going on. We always got something going on here, something crazy, something not normal, basically. You can say that, but we always got cool projects going on here in the shop. So like I said, this is gonna be it for today. I hope you liked the video. We do have the first part of this truck when I was doing the swap, the fabrication, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have not watched that, go back and watch it so you can take a look at it on what we did. And then this is the final video of this thing completely done and stuff like that. So go ahead and comment down below what you think about this vehicle. I know a lot of people are not going to like it though, but other people do. But then again, it is something unique, so all that hate and everything that you should have kept the Chevrolet and blah 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 and this and that, should have put an LT and whatnot, and I mean, for all I care, I put a Briggs & Stratton on this thing and let it ride. But customer wanted a Hellcat, so we went ahead and did it. Hellcat 8-speed, and you don't see that very often, so it's definitely a head turner, runs very very well. So if you don't like it, well, so be it. If you love it, hit a thumbs up. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that follow button if you haven't, and stay up to date on what we got going on here in the shop. So let's go ahead and get this thing washed up and head out to the track.